Let me ask you something. How long have you been studying English? 6 months, a year, maybe even longer? Now, here's the real question. Do you actually feel more confident speaking English than when you started? If you just thought, not really, or I'm still scared to speak, you're not alone. In fact, you're in the majority. Today, I'm going to show you exactly why this happens, and more importantly, how to finally break through that invisible wall that's keeping you stuck. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Artificial Fluency. I'm your host, Emma, and today we're tackling the #1 problem that stops English learners from actually using their English: lack of confidence. But here's the thing. Confidence isn't what you think it is. Let me explain. Most people think confidence means never being nervous, never making mistakes, always knowing the perfect word. That's completely wrong. Let me teach you what confidence really means in English learning. Real confidence is this. It's believing you can handle a conversation even when you don't know every word. It's raising your hand to speak even though your heart is beating fast. It's saying, I don't understand. Can you explain that? Instead of pretending you got it. Let me give you a perfect example. Yesterday, one of my students, Maria, had to give a presentation at work. Her English isn't perfect. She still makes grammar mistakes, sometimes forgets words. But you know what? She stood up, she spoke clearly and slowly, and when she forgot a word, she simply said, "Sorry, what I mean is," and explained it another way. That is confidence. Now, compare that to another student, James, who has studied English for 5 years. His grammar is nearly perfect, but he never speaks in class, never joins conversations. Why? Because he's waiting to be ready. He's waiting for perfection. And you know what? He'll be waiting forever. Here's what I want you to understand. Confidence doesn't come from being perfect. It comes from being okay with being imperfect. Write that down. Really, pause this video and write it down. This is the first mindset shift you need. Now, let's talk about why you feel stuck. There are 4 main barriers that keep English learners trapped, and I bet you're dealing with at least 2 of them right now. Barrier number 1, fear. This is the big one. Fear of making mistakes, fear of people laughing at you, fear of not understanding. But here's something interesting. Do you know what native English speakers fear most? Public speaking, even in their own language. So if you're nervous about speaking English, congratulations, you're normal. The problem is when fear becomes your boss, when fear decides whether you speak or stay silent. Let me teach you a useful phrase here. Feel the fear and do it anyway. This means, yes, you'll feel scared, but you do it despite the fear. The fear doesn't disappear. You just stop letting it control you. Barrier number 2, comparison. Oh, this one is painful. You hear someone speaking fluent English and think, I'll never be that good. Stop right there. You're comparing your chapter 3 to someone else's chapter 20. Of course they're better. They've been practicing longer. Here's a better comparison. Compare yourself today to yourself 6 months ago. Are you better? Even a little bit? Then you're winning. That's the only comparison that matters. Barrier number 3, negative self-talk. This is the voice in your head saying, your English is terrible. You sound stupid. Everyone will judge you. Would you talk to your best friend like that? No? then why do you talk to yourself that way? Let me teach you a technique. When you hear that negative voice, imagine it's coming from a mean cartoon character, maybe an angry little mouse. Suddenly, it seems less powerful, right? You can even give it a silly name. Oh, there goes negative Nancy again. This helps you separate from those thoughts. Barrier number 4, past experiences. Maybe someone laughed at your English once. Maybe you froze during a presentation. These memories become like heavy backpacks. You carry them everywhere and they slow you down. But here's the truth. That was then. This is now. Every day you get a fresh start. Every conversation is a new opportunity. You are not your past mistakes. You are your future possibilities. By the way, if this is already helping you, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps me create more lessons like this, and comment below, which barrier is your biggest challenge? Let's support each other. Okay, now for the good part. How to actually build confidence. I'm going to give you a 3-step formula that really works. I've seen it transform hundreds of students. Step 1. Fix your mindset. First, you need to understand something about your brain. Your brain is like Google. It finds whatever you search for. If you keep thinking, I can't speak English, your brain searches for proof that you can't. But if you think, I'm improving my English, your brain finds proof of improvement. So here's your homework for mindset. Every morning, say these 3 sentences out loud. I am capable of learning English. Every mistake helps me improve. I have something valuable to say. Say them even if you don't believe them yet. Your brain doesn't know the difference between what's true and what you repeat often enough. This is called affirmation, and it literally rewires your brain over time. Also, let me teach you about growth mindset versus fixed mindset. Fixed mindset says, I'm bad at English. Growth mindset says, I'm not good at English yet. See that little word, yet? It changes everything. Start adding yet to your sentences. I don't understand this yet. I can't speak fluently yet. Step 2. Take daily action. Confidence isn't built by thinking about it. It's built by doing. But here's the key. Start ridiculously small. I mean really small. Day 1, say good morning in English to yourself in the mirror. Day 2, read 1 English sentence out loud. Day 3, leave 1 YouTube comment in English. Day 4, ask 1 question in English, even to yourself. Day 5, have a 30-second conversation in English, even with your pet. See how small these are? That's on purpose. Success builds confidence, and small successes count. Also, let's talk about body language. When you speak English, stand up straight, make eye contact, smile. Your body teaches your brain how to feel. If your body is confident, your brain follows. Here's a secret technique. Before any English conversation, do what I call the Superman pose. Stand with your feet apart, hands on your hips, chin up for 2 minutes. This actually changes your hormones. It reduces stress and increases confidence. Science has proven this. Step 3, create your environment. You've probably heard you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If those 5 people tell you your English is bad, guess what you'll believe? But if those 5 people encourage you, practice with you, celebrate your progress, everything changes. So here's what you do. Join an online English learning group. There are thousands on Facebook. Find 1 practice partner, just 1. Follow English learning accounts that encourage you. Limit time with people who make you feel bad about your English. Stop reading negative comments online. And here's something powerful. Help someone else with their English. Even if you're a beginner, you know something someone else doesn't. Teaching others builds your confidence faster than anything else. Let me tell you about Ahmed, one of our community members. 6 months ago, Ahmed couldn't order coffee in English without sweating. He knew the words, but froze every time. Here's what he did. He started with my 3-step formula. For mindset, he wrote, "I can do this," on a sticky note and put it on his bathroom mirror. For action, he practiced ordering coffee at home, literally standing in his kitchen, pretending to order. For environment, he found one English-speaking friend online to practice with for 5 minutes every day. Last week, Ahmed led a meeting in English at his company. Not perfect English, confident English. There's a huge difference. Now, let me give you some practical phrases that build confidence. These are simple but powerful. When you don't understand. Could you say that again, please? Sorry, I didn't catch that. Can you speak a bit slower? When you forget a word, how do you say, explain the concept? I forgot the word, but I mean, it's like, give an example. When you make a mistake, let me try that again. Sorry, what I meant was, actually, I should say, see? These phrases show you're learning, not that you're failing. Native speakers use these phrases too. Are you finding this helpful? Please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next lesson. And comment one thing you'll do today to build your confidence. Let's keep each other accountable. Now let's learn some essential vocabulary about confidence. But I won't just give you definitions. I'll show you how to actually use these words. Embarrassed, feeling uncomfortable or ashamed. Example, I felt embarrassed when I said the wrong word. But here's the thing. Embarrassment lasts maybe 30 seconds. The learning lasts forever. So it's actually a good trade. Struggle, to have difficulty doing something. Example, I struggle with pronunciation. Remember, every English speaker struggled at first. Even native speakers struggled to learn their own language as babies. Barrier, something that blocks your progress. Example, fear is my biggest barrier. Think of barriers like walls. Every wall has a door. You just need to find it. Mindset, the way you think about your abilities. Example, I'm working on my growth mindset. Your mindset is like glasses. It changes how you see everything. Make sure you're wearing the right glasses. Judge, to form an opinion, often negative. Example, I'm afraid people will judge my English. Truth, most people are too busy worrying about themselves to judge you. And if they do judge, that says more about them than about you. Improve, to get better. Example, I improve a little bit every day. Improvement is like climbing stairs. You don't notice each step, but suddenly you're on a different floor. Okay, let's make this real. I'm giving you a 7-day confidence challenge. Each day has one small task. Ready? Day 1. Write down 3 things you can do in English, even simple things. Day 2. Record yourself speaking English for 30 seconds. Don't share it, just listen. Day 3. Compliment someone in English. Online counts. Day 4. Ask for help in English.
even what time is it? Day 5. Share one opinion in English. Comment on a post. Day 6. Make one mistake on purpose and correct yourself. Day 7. Have a 2-minute conversation in English with anyone about anything. That's it. 7 small steps. But by day 7, you'll feel different. I promise.
Here's what I want you to remember. Every fluent English speaker was once where you are now. Every single one. They felt scared. They made mistakes. They wanted to give up. But they didn't, and neither will you. Confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about being persistent. It's not about knowing everything. It's about being curious to learn more. It's not about never falling. It's about always getting back up. Your English journey is exactly that. Your journey. Stop comparing. Stop waiting. Stop doubting. Start speaking. Start trying. Start believing. You have something valuable to say. The world needs to hear your voice in whatever English you have today. Because your imperfect English sharing your unique ideas is infinitely more valuable than perfect English saying nothing. Remember, you're not building confidence. You're uncovering the confidence that's already inside you. It's been there all along, waiting for you to let it shine. Thank you for spending these 20 minutes with me. If this helped you, please share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe for more real, practical English lessons. And remember, you've got this. I believe in you. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep speaking. This is Artificial Fluency, reminding you that every word you speak is a victory. See you in the next lesson.
Quick question. What time did you wake up this morning? Now, here's the real question. What did you actually accomplish before lunch? If you're like most people, you probably checked your phone, answered some messages, maybe watched a video or two, and suddenly it was noon. Sound familiar? Here's the crazy part. You were busy the whole morning, but what did you really do? Today, I'm going to teach you English phrases and vocabulary about time management, but more importantly, I'll show you why being busy and being productive are completely different things. Welcome to Artificial Fluency. I'm your teacher for today's special lesson, where we're tackling 2 things at once: improving your English and fixing that feeling of where did my day go? Let's dive in. Let me teach you a really useful phrase in English. Spinning your wheels. When a car is stuck in mud, the wheels spin and spin, but the car doesn't move forward. That's what we call spinning your wheels. Lots of action, no progress. Here's how you use it. I was spinning my wheels all day with emails. Or stop spinning your wheels and focus on what matters. Now, why do we spin our wheels? Let me tell you what most people get wrong. They think they need more time. If only I had more hours in the day. But that's not true. Let me prove it to you. Think about the day before a vacation. Suddenly, you can finish a week's worth of work in one day. Why? Because you have a deadline. Because you're focused. Because you're not distracted. The problem isn't time. It's attention. Let me teach you this important distinction. I don't have time really means it's not my priority. I'm too busy really means I'm not organized. I forgot really means it wasn't important to me. Harsh? Maybe. True? Absolutely. Here's a grammar point for you. Notice how I used really means to explain the true meaning? This is a great structure for clarifying in English. When I say X, I really mean Y. That really means. What this really means is, you can use this in any conversation to explain yourself better. Now, let's learn the most important concept about time. Ready? Time is energy. Let me explain with an example. You have 8 hours of work time, but your energy is different throughout the day. In the morning, you might have 100% energy. By afternoon, maybe 60%. By evening, perhaps 30%. So here's the key question. What are you doing with your 100% energy time? Most people waste it. They check social media, read news, answer easy emails. Then, when their energy is low, they try to do important work. No wonder they feel exhausted and unproductive. Let's learn some vocabulary about energy levels. Peak hours, your best energy time. Example, my peak hours are from 9 to 11 a.m. Energy drain, something that takes your energy away. Example, social media is a real energy drain for me. Recharge, to get energy back. Example, I need to recharge with a short walk. Here's a practical tip with English practice. Every morning, ask yourself this question out loud in English. What's my most important task today? Not tasks, task. Singular, one thing. Then say, I will do this during my peak hours. This simple practice improves your English and your productivity. By the way, if you're finding this helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe. I create lessons like this every week to help you master English while learning useful life skills. Drop a comment. What time of day do you have the most energy? Now, let me teach you about the power of saying no.
Here's something interesting about English culture. People often feel bad saying no directly, so we have many polite ways to say it. Let me teach you some. Direct but polite. I'm sorry, I can't commit to that. Unfortunately, that doesn't work for me. I wish I could, but I can't. Softer refusals. Let me check my schedule and get back to you. This gives you time to think. I'm not the best person for this. My plate is full right now. This means you're too busy. Professional ways. I need to prioritize other commitments. That's outside my bandwidth right now. Bandwidth means capacity. I'm at capacity this week. But here's the important lesson. Every time you say yes to something small, you say no to something big. Let me give you an example. You say yes to checking Facebook for just 5 minutes. You say no to reading that English article. You say yes to a meeting that could be an email. You say no to deep work. You say yes to staying up late watching TV. You say no to waking up fresh tomorrow. Notice the grammar pattern here. You say yes to X. You say no to Y. This is a great way to show consequences in English. Try making your own sentences with this pattern. Here's a cultural note. In many English-speaking countries, saying no politely but firmly is respected. People prefer honest no over false yes. Remember this when you're in international settings. Let me teach you a game-changing concept, the Pomodoro technique. Pomodoro is Italian for tomato. The inventor used a tomato-shaped timer. Here's how it works. Work for 25 minutes. Take a 5-minute break. Repeat 4 times. Take a longer break, 15 to 30 minutes. But let's learn the English you need to talk about this. Time block, a scheduled period for specific work. I have a 2-hour time block for studying English. Break it down. Divide into smaller parts. Let's break down this project into smaller tasks. Chunk, a small piece of something bigger. I study English in 30-minute chunks. Batch, group similar tasks together. I batch all my emails into one time slot. Here's a common mistake English learners make. They say, I will study English 2 hours tomorrow. But native speakers more often say, I'll study English for 2 hours tomorrow. Don't forget that 4 when talking about duration. Another tip, use present continuous for scheduled future activities. I'm studying English at 3 p.m. It's planned. I'm meeting my tutor tomorrow. It's arranged. This sounds more natural than I will study for planned activities. Let me give you a practical example. Instead of saying, I'll improve my English, try this. I'm practicing English for 25 minutes every morning at 8 a.m. See how specific that is? Specific plans become real actions. Now, let's talk about routines. But first, let me clear up some confusion about this word. Routine, as a noun, means your regular pattern of doing things. Routine, as an adjective, means ordinary or boring. These are different. Having a routine, noun, doesn't make your life routine, adjective. In fact, it's the opposite. Let me teach you phrases about routines. Morning routine phrases. I start my day with, first thing in the morning, my morning ritual includes, I never skip my morning. Evening routine phrases. I wind down by, wind down means relax. Before bed, I always, my evening routine helps me. I end my day with. Here's a grammar tip. When describing routines, we use present simple. I wake up at 6 a.m., not I am waking up. I check my emails after breakfast, not I am checking. But here's where learners get confused. We use present continuous for temporary routines. I'm waking up at 6 a.m. this week. Temporary. I'm checking emails less often these days. Changing habit. Are you learning something new? Great! Please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a lesson. Comment below, what's one part of your daily routine? Write it in English for practice. Let me share a powerful routine formula with you. Host. Here's a profound truth. Your calendar doesn't lie. Where you spend your time shows your real priorities. Let's learn vocabulary about priorities. Top priority, most important thing. Learning English is my top priority. Back burner, low priority, like a pot on the back of the stove. I put social media on the back burner. Make time for. Actively create time for something. I make time for English practice every day. Time sink. Something that wastes lots of time. YouTube can be a real-time sink if I'm not careful. Now, here's an exercise. Complete these sentences honestly. I spend most of my time. I wish I had more time for. I waste time on. Your answers reveal everything. If you spend most of your time on social media but wish you had time for English, there's your problem and your solution. Let me teach you a useful phrase. Vote with your time. In democracies, we vote with ballots. In life, we vote with our time. Every hour is a vote for what matters to you. Here's how to use it. I'm voting with my time by practicing English daily. Common mistake alert. Don't say, I have no time. Native speakers usually say, I don't have time for that. I can't fit that in. My schedule is packed. The phrase, I have no time, sounds too dramatic in everyday English.
Let's make this real. I'm going to teach you a simple system you can start today, the 3-3-3 method. 3 hours of deep work, your important tasks. 3 hours of regular work, emails, meetings, routine tasks. 3 hours for yourself, exercise, hobbies, learning English for that matter. That's only 9 hours. You still have time for sleep, eating, and relaxing. Here's how to talk about this in English. I dedicate 3 hours to formal. I set aside 3 hours for common. I block out 3 hours for professional. Practice saying, tomorrow I'm blocking out 1 hour for English practice. Here's a fail vocabulary set about time management. Time conscious, aware of time. I'm becoming more time conscious. Deadline driven, motivated by deadlines. I work better when I'm deadline driven. Proactive versus reactive. Proactive is planning ahead. Reactive is always responding to urgencies. Say, I'm trying to be more proactive with my time. Let me leave you with this thought. Time management isn't about squeezing more into your day. It's about putting the right things in the right order. Here's your homework. 3 simple English sentences to practice every morning. What's my one important task today? When will I do it? And what will I say no to? These questions program your brain for success in English and in life. Remember these key phrases from today. Spinning your wheels, busy but not productive. Peak hours, best energy time. Make time for, actively create time. Vote with your time. Show priorities through actions. The truth is, you have the same 24 hours as everyone else. The difference? Some people use those hours intentionally. Others let those hours use them. Which will you choose? Your English improves the same way, not by finding more time, but by using your time better. Even 15 focused minutes beats 2 distracted hours. Thank you for spending these 20 valuable minutes with me. You chose to invest your time in learning, and that already makes you different from most people. If this helped you, please share it with someone who needs better English or better time management, or both. Subscribe for more lessons that teach English through real-life skills. Remember, you don't need more time. You need more focus. You don't need perfect English. You need consistent practice. This is Artificial Fluency, reminding you that every minute you invest in learning pays you back for life. See you in the next lesson, and this time, you'll be ready because you know how to manage your time.
Now go make your next hour count.
Let me guess. You're waiting to practice English until you find the perfect conversation partner, right? Maybe a native speaker, someone patient, someone available every day. Well, what if I told you that waiting for a partner is actually slowing down your progress? What if the best conversation partner you'll ever have is yourself? I know that sounds crazy, but stay with me. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how thousands of English learners are becoming fluent by talking to themselves. And no, they're not going crazy, they're getting fluent. Welcome to Artificial Fluency. I'm your teacher, and in the next 20 minutes, you're going to learn solo practice methods that are actually more effective than many conversation classes. Ready? Let's start. First, let's talk about the biggest myth in language learning. You need a partner to practice speaking. This sounds logical, right? Language is about communication, so you need someone to communicate with. But here's what nobody tells you. In a typical language class with 20 students, how much do you actually speak? Maybe 2 minutes? 3 minutes maximum? The rest of the time, you're listening to others make mistakes or waiting for your turn. And what about conversation partners online? Sure, it's nice to chat once a week, but what about the other 6 days? Your mouth is not making English sounds. Your brain is not building those neural pathways. Let me teach you an important phrase. Fluency is a muscle. Just like going to the gym, you need to exercise your English muscles every single day, not just when you have a spotter. Here's the truth that changed everything for me and my students. The person who will help you become fluent is not out there somewhere, it's you. Think about how children learn their first language. Do babies wait for conversation partners? No. They babble to themselves all day long. They narrate what they see. They repeat sounds. They practice alone first, then they communicate with others. You already have conversations in your head all day long, right? You think about what to eat, what to do, what happened yesterday. Those thoughts, that's your practice material. You just need to say them out loud in English. Now, let me teach you the most powerful technique for solo practice, the inner conversation method. Here's how it works. Take the thoughts already in your head and speak them out loud in English. Not whisper, not think, speak. Let me demonstrate. When I wake up, instead of thinking quietly, I say out loud, okay, it's 7 a.m. I need to get up. Oh, I'm still tired. Maybe 5 more minutes? No, I should get up now. First, I'll make coffee, then I'll check my emails. What should I wear today? It looks cloudy, so maybe I'll need a jacket. See what I did? I turned my normal thoughts into English speaking practice. Now, let's learn useful phrases for self-talk. For planning. First, I need to. After that, I should probably, maybe I could. For opinions. I think that. In my opinion. I believe. It seems like. For decisions. I've decided to. I'm going to. I choose, I prefer. Common mistake alert. When talking to yourself, don't say, I am thinking that. Just say, I think that. In English, we use simple present for thoughts and opinions, not continuous. Are you already learning something new? Fantastic. Please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Drop a comment. Have you ever tried talking to yourself in English? Let me know. Now, here's a pro tip. Start in the easiest place, your bedroom or bathroom. These are private spaces where nobody will hear you. Talk about what you see. There's my blue towel. The mirror is a bit dirty. I need to buy more shampoo. This toothbrush is getting old. This isn't just description, it's activation. You're activating vocabulary you already know but never use. Imagine you're the star of a documentary about your life, and you're also the narrator. This is our next technique. Throughout your day, narrate what you're doing, like David Attenborough describing nature. Now I'm opening the refrigerator. I'm looking for something to eat. There's some leftover pizza, but I think I'll make a sandwich instead. I'm taking out the bread, the cheese, the tomato. This sounds simple, but it's incredibly powerful. You're practicing present continuous, I'm doing. Present simple, I think, I want. Future forms, I'll make. Vocabulary for everyday objects. Let me teach you transition phrases that make your narration smooth. Time transitions. Now I'm. Next, I need to. After this. Meanwhile. At the same time. Cause and effect. Because of this. So I need to. That's why. Therefore. Here's a complete example of narrating making tea. I'm filling the kettle with water. Now I'm turning it on. While it's heating, I'll get a cup from the cupboard. Oh, this one has a small chip. I'll use a different one. The water's boiling now. I'm pouring it over the tea bag. I'll let it steep for 3 minutes. Meanwhile, I'll get the milk from the fridge. Notice how natural that sounds? You're not memorizing dialogues from a textbook. You're describing your real life. Grammar tip. When narrating, you'll naturally use I'm a lot. This is perfect. You're training your mouth to produce this contracted form automatically. Native speakers almost never say, I am, in casual speech. It's always, I'm. Here's where it gets really fun. You know when you watch videos or read news and have opinions? Say them out loud. Watch any YouTube video, pause it, and respond. Interesting point, but I disagree because that reminds me of... I've never thought about it that way. In my country, You're training your brain to respond quickly in English, just like in real conversations. Let me teach you agreeing and disagreeing phrases. Agreeing. That's exactly right. I couldn't agree more. That's a good point. I see what you mean. Disagreeing politely. I see your point, but that's interesting. However, I'm not sure I agree because actually, in my experience, adding information. Also, another thing is, don't forget that. Plus, here's a practical exercise. Watch the news for 2 minutes, then turn it off and explain what you learned. So basically, they were talking about climate change. The main point was that temperatures are rising faster than expected. The scientist said something about ice melting. I think this is really serious because it affects everyone. In my opinion, we need to take action now, not later. See, you're practicing summarizing, expressing opinions, using reported speech, connecting ideas. Common mistake: don't say I am agree or I am disagree. Just say I agree or I disagree. These are verbs, not adjectives in English.
This technique might feel strange at first, but it's golden. Have conversations with yourself. Play both parts. Here's an example of me planning my weekend. Me 1. What should we do this weekend? Me 2. I don't know, maybe go to the beach? Me 1. But the weather forecast says rain. Me 2. Oh, right. How about watching that new movie? Me 1. Which one? Me 2. The action movie everyone's talking about. Me 1. Sounds good. What time? This practices questions and answers, natural conversation flow, different sentence types, conversation fillers. Let me teach you conversation fillers that make you sound natural. Thinking sounds. Let me think. Well, actually, showing interest. Really? No way! Seriously? That's interesting. Keeping conversation going. Tell me more. What else? And then go on. This is powerful stuff, right? If you're finding value in this lesson, please subscribe and share it with someone who's struggling with English speaking practice. Comment below which technique sounds most useful to you. Here's your homework. Tonight, before bed, have a 2-minute conversation with yourself about your day. Ask yourself, how was my day? Then answer in detail. Now, let's talk about technology. You have access to the most patient conversation partner ever created, AI. ChatGPT, Google's Bard, or any AI chatbot can practice conversations anytime. Never judge your mistakes. Explain grammar when you need it. Role-play any situation. Here's how to use AI effectively. For conversation practice, let's have a conversation about topic. Please keep your responses simple and ask me questions. For role play, you are a waiter at a restaurant. I want to practice ordering food. Start by greeting me. For correction, I'm going to tell you about my day. Please correct any major errors after I finish. Let me give you starter prompts for AI practice. Daily conversation. Let's chat about hobbies. Ask me about my hometown. Let's discuss weekend plans. Specific situations. I need to practice a job interview. Help me practice complaining at a hotel. Let's practice small talk at a party. Grammar focus. Let's practice using past perfect. Ask me questions using would. Help me practice conditional sentences. Important tip: don't just type to AI. Speak your responses out loud first, then type them. This way, you're still practicing speaking. Let me give you a simple 15-minute daily routine that will transform your English. Morning. While getting ready, narrate everything. I'm brushing my teeth. I need to buy more toothpaste. My hair looks messy today. I'll wear my blue shirt. Afternoon. Respond to one piece of content, a video, article, or podcast. That was interesting. I learned that. I agree with, but I think. Evening. Have a self-dialogue about tomorrow. What's my plan for tomorrow? First, I need to. Then I should. If I have time, I'll. That's it. 15 minutes total, but every single day. Remember, fluency is not built in one big session. It's built minute by minute, day by day. Track your progress. Every Sunday, record yourself speaking for 1 minute about your week. Save these recordings. After 1 month, listen to week 1. You'll be amazed at your improvement. Here's a bonus tip. Use transition times. Walking to work, driving, doing dishes, these are perfect moments for English self-talk. You're not wasting time. You're investing it. Let me ask you something. How many years have you been waiting for the perfect practice partner? How many opportunities to speak have you missed because you were alone? Starting today, that ends. You don't need anyone else to become fluent. You need 3 things: your voice, your thoughts, and your commitment. Every sentence you speak out loud is a step toward fluency. Every word you pronounce is training your mouth. Every thought you express in English is rewiring your brain. Remember these key points. Talk to yourself out loud every day. Narrate your actions like a documentary. Respond to content you consume. Have self-dialogues about real topics. Use AI for structured practice. The best time to start? Right now. After this video ends, don't go silent. Keep the English going. Describe what you're going to do next. Express your opinion about this lesson. Plan your day out loud. You are not crazy for talking to yourself in English. You are clever. You are taking control. You are becoming fluent on your terms, on your schedule. Your English journey doesn't depend on finding the right person. It depends on being the right person, someone who practices daily, speaks boldly, and never gives up. Thank you for spending these 20 minutes with me. This is just the beginning. Every day you'll get a little better, a little more confident, a little more fluent. Remember, the best conversation partner you'll ever have is already with you. It's you. So start talking. This is Artificial Fluency, reminding you that fluency is not a destination, it's a daily practice. And that practice starts with your next sentence. Now, go talk to yourself in English. See you in the next lesson.
Someone asks you, "How was your day?" And your mind goes completely blank. You know so many English words, but suddenly you can't make a simple sentence about what you did today. Sound familiar? Here's the thing. You probably already know 90% of the words you need. You just don't know how to put them together naturally. Today, I'm going to fix that. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to describe your entire day in English from the moment you wake up until you go to sleep. And the best part, we're only using simple, everyday words that you'll actually use in real conversations. Welcome to Artificial Fluency. I'm your teacher, and today we're turning your daily life into your best English practice. Let's begin. Why this matters? Think about it. How was your day? Is probably the most common question in English after how are you? It happens
everywhere. Your colleague asks at work, your friend texts you, your teacher starts class with it, even strangers make small talk with it. But here's what's amazing. Once you can talk about your day, you can talk about almost anything. Why? Because describing your day uses all the essential English. Past tense, what you did. Present tense, what you usually do. Future tense, what you'll do. Feelings and opinions, time expressions, sequence words. Plus, your day is your story. You're not memorizing someone else's dialogue. You're talking about your real life. That makes it easier to remember and more natural to say. Let me show you how simple this can be. Let's start from the beginning. Waking up. Here's how I describe my morning. My alarm goes off at 7 a.m. I usually hit snooze once. Okay, maybe twice. Then I get up, stretch a little, and go to the bathroom. I brush my teeth, wash my face, and take a quick shower. The hot water helps me wake up. After that, I get dressed and make breakfast. Usually just coffee and toast. Nothing fancy. Then I check my phone for messages, grab my bag, and head out the door. See how simple that was? Let me break down the key phrases. Waking up phrases. My alarm goes off at. Not rings at. Alarms go off. I wake up at. I get up at. Different from wake up. This means leaving the bed. I hit snooze. Press the button to sleep more. Common mistake. Don't say I wake up myself. Just say I wake up. It's automatic in English. Morning action phrases. I brush my teeth, not wash my teeth. I take a shower or I have a shower. Both are correct. I get dressed, not I wear my clothes. That sounds strange. I make breakfast or I have breakfast. I grab my things. Informal way to say take. I head out. Informal for leave. Are you learning new phrases already? Great! If this is helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Comment below, what time does your alarm go off? Practice writing it in English. Now, let's add some variety. Not every morning is the same, right? Here are variations. I overslept this morning. I couldn't get up. I skipped breakfast. I was running late. I forgot my keys. Grammar tip. When talking about this morning specifically, use past tense. I woke up late. When talking about your usual routine, use present simple. I usually wake up at 7. Now let's talk about your commute. That's your journey to work or school. This is great conversation material. Here's a driving example. I drive to work. It usually takes about 30 minutes, but this morning there was terrible traffic. I was stuck for almost an hour. I listen to a podcast while driving. It makes the time go faster. And here's public transport. I take the bus to work. It's usually crowded in the morning, so I have to stand. Sometimes I get a seat if I'm lucky. I use the time to read or check my emails on my phone. Key commute vocabulary. I drive, walk, cycle, take the bus. It takes time, duration. There was traffic, many cars, slow movement. I was stuck, couldn't move. It was crowded, too many people. I had to stand, no seats available. Here's some useful time expressions. It takes about 20 minutes. On a good day, when everything goes well. On a bad day, when there are problems. During rush hour, busy time. Common mistake. Don't say, I go to work by foot. Say, I walk to work, or I go to work on foot. Here's how to make it more interesting. The commute is the worst part of my day. I actually enjoy my commute. It's my quiet time. I hate driving in traffic. The train was delayed again. Now for the meat of your day, work or school. Keep it simple but specific. I got to work around 9. First, I checked my emails. So many emails. Then I had a meeting with my team. We discussed the new project. After that, I worked on some reports. It was pretty boring, to be honest. At lunch, I ate with my colleagues. We just had sandwiches in the break room. In the afternoon, I had more meetings and answered more emails. Finally, at 5 p.m., I finished work and headed home. Breaking this down. Arrival phrases. I got to work or school at. I arrived at. When I got there. Work activities. I checked my emails. I had a meeting. I worked on something. I talked to my boss or colleagues. I made some phone calls. I finished a report. School activities. I went to class. I took notes. I had a test. I studied in the library. I talked with friends. I ate lunch in the cafeteria. Adding opinions makes it natural. It was interesting, boring, exhausting. I was so busy. Time went quickly, slowly. I got a lot done. I didn't get much done. Still with me? Awesome. Remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next lesson. What's the hardest part of your day to describe in English? Let me know in the comments. Grammar focus. Use past simple for today's specific events. I had a meeting. Use present simple for regular activities. I usually have meetings on Mondays. Lunch isn't just about food. It's about the break, the social time. Here's how to talk about it. At noon, I took my lunch break. I brought food from home today, just leftover pasta from last night. I heated it up in the microwave and ate at my desk while watching YouTube. Sometimes I eat with my coworkers, but today I needed some alone time. Alternative version. I went out for lunch with a friend. We went to that new sandwich place nearby. It was pretty good, but a bit expensive. We talked about our weekend plans. It was nice to get out of the office for a bit. Lunch vocabulary. I took a lunch break. I brought lunch from home. I bought lunch. I ordered takeout. I ate at my desk. I went to the cafeteria. I heated up my food. Social phrases. I ate alone with colleagues. We chatted about. It was nice to catch up. I needed some quiet time. Common mistake. I ate the lunch. Drop the. Just say, I ate lunch or I had lunch. The evening is when your day becomes more personal. Here's a typical evening. I got home around 6:30. I was exhausted. First, I changed into comfortable clothes. You know, sweatpants and a t-shirt. Then I made dinner. Nothing special, just pasta with tomato sauce. While eating, I watched the news on TV. After dinner, I did the dishes and tidied up a bit. Then I just relaxed on the couch, scrolling through my phone. I called my mom for a quick chat. Around 10, I started getting ready for bed. Evening routine phrases. I got home at. I changed clothes or got changed. I made, cooked, or prepared dinner. I ordered takeout. I watched TV or Netflix. I relaxed or chilled out. I did some chores. Housework. I went for a walk. I spent time with family. Relaxation vocabulary. I unwound. relaxed after stress. I veggie out, very informal, do nothing. I caught up on shows, reading, or sleep. I had some me time. Time transitions. After work. When I got home. After dinner. Later in the evening. Before bed. Bedtime, ending the day. 1700 to 1830. Finally, let's talk about bedtime. Around 10:30, I started getting ready for bed. I brushed my teeth, washed my face, and put on my pajamas. I set my alarm for tomorrow. Hopefully, I won't hit snooze too many times. I got into bed and read for a few minutes, but I was so tired that I fell asleep pretty quickly. That was my day. Bedtime phrases. I got ready for bed. I went to bed at. I fell asleep quickly or eventually. I couldn't sleep. Insomnia. I was out like a light. Fell asleep immediately. Reflection phrases. It was a good, long, or tiring day. I got a lot done. Tomorrow will be better. I'm glad the day is over.
Now let's practice a complete day description. Here's mine from yesterday. Yesterday was pretty typical. I woke up at 7, got ready quickly, and drove to work. The morning was busy, lots of emails, and a long meeting. I had lunch at my desk while finishing a report. The afternoon was quieter, which was nice. I left work at 5:30 and stopped at the supermarket on the way home. I made a simple dinner and watched a movie. I was in bed by 11. Nothing exciting, but it was a productive day. See how I used past tense throughout. Time markers like at 7, at 5:30, by 11. Sequence words like then, after that. Opinions like pretty typical, which was nice. And simple connecting words like and, but. Your turn. Try describing your yesterday in 5 to 6 sentences. Remember, start with when you woke up. Mention 2 to 3 main activities. Include one feeling or opinion. End with bedtime. Keep it simple. Congratulations! You now have all the tools to talk about your day in English. Let's recap the essential phrases. Morning. I wake up, get ready, have breakfast, leave for work. Commute. I drive, take the bus. It takes X minutes. Work. I check emails, have meetings, work on projects. Lunch. I eat with colleagues, bring or buy lunch. Evening. I get home, make dinner, relax, watch TV. Night. I get ready for bed, fall asleep. Here's your homework. Super simple, but super effective. Tonight, before you sleep, say 3 sentences out loud about your day. Just 3. For example, I woke up at 8 today. I worked all day and had a good lunch. Now I'm tired and ready for bed. That's it. Do this every night for 1 week and you'll be amazed how natural it becomes.
Remember, you don't need perfect grammar. You don't need advanced vocabulary. You just need to start talking about your life in English. Your daily routine is your best teacher. Every morning you wake up is a chance to practice, I woke up. Every meal is a chance to practice, I had breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Every journey is a chance to practice, I went to. Thank you for spending these 20 minutes with me. Your English journey happens one day at a time, one sentence at a time. And now you know how to describe every part of it. If this helped you, please share it with someone learning English. Subscribe for more practical lessons that make English simple and natural. This is Artificial Fluency, reminding you that the best English practice is hiding in your everyday life. You just need to start talking about it. What did you do today? Start practicing now.